Hello, everybody. Some old guy with MS here once again. So, this week we're doing a movie, not investing. But I think there's one thing I gotta say before we get going. And that is what gets wetter the more it dries. Remember that riddle? That was from last week. What gets wetter the more it dries? Give up? You got a week to think about it. It's a towel. There you go. Okay. So let's get into this. The movie I am talking about this week is Night of the Living Dead. It is a black and white movie that was released in 1968. And what is so special about this movie, because it was pretty much the start of the Living Dead, Walking Dead, the dead genre. It created a whole new genre of movies, TV shows, and so on and so forth. I think right now, today, there's something like 3 or 4 different Living Dead, Walking Dead shows on TV. They're mainly on AMC. But yeah, 3 or 4, I think there are 4. And they all can be traced back to this movie, Night of the Living Dead. And the most famous line from this movie is, "They're coming to get you, Barbara," which is said pretty much right at the beginning. So what's the gist of the movie? Any person that died, especially recently, comes back to gets reanimated. I wouldn't say comes back to life, but is reanimated. These very slow walking, slow moving, but they eat the flesh of living human beings or those that have recently passed. And anyway, for some reason, they start to reanimate. And this couple, brother and sister, have gone to put a wreath out way out in the country on their father's grave. And they start getting attacked by these reanimated bodies. So what happens is one attacks Barbara, then her brother fights it off, but eventually it bites him. So Barbara escapes and goes down the hill, sees a house way off in the distance, so runs to the house, and it doesn't appear to be occupied. So there's no one home anyway. So she goes in, sort of looking around, shuts the door and all that. And she goes upstairs, and there's a dead body that, sort of falling apart. So I guess that was the owner. And so she goes back downstairs and is pretty much useless. And then this black guy, he's driving a old truck. He sees a gas pump, but it's locked. And he comes to try and get gas. And he comes into the house. And there's more and more of these Walking Dead outside. So he proceeds to start boarding up the windows and the doors. He actually is, he's got a lot of initiative, seems to know what he's doing, and it kind of looks good for them. He's probably going to get them out of this. So they're doing all this, boarding things up. He had found a hammer and some nails. And, he's kind of securing the building. And then at one point, the cellar door opens, and there's a man and his wife and an injured daughter and a young man and his girlfriend down in the cellar. They come up, and the man, he sort of starts demanding that they all go down the cellar. And the first guy, and he's black. And he says, "No way, I'm staying up here. If you want to go down there, go ahead, but, I'm staying up here." And there's tension between the stupid guy from down in the cellar and the black guy upstairs. But they continue boarding up windows. And the guy from the cellar, he's saying, "Oh, this is no good. They'll break through this. We got to hide downstairs." And the black guy says, "No, this'll hold." And he says, they're not that strong. They're easy to push out of the way. So this will be good enough. So they sort of have a ongoing conflict. And the guy with his girlfriend, he really doesn't say much, but he's more with the guy from the cellar. Anyway, the black guy, he eventually finds a rifle and shoots a couple of these animated bodies, but they don't really stop unless you hit them in the head. And it's funny, that little tidbit is carried forward in all these other movies and TV shows. You gotta hit them in the head. See what happens. Oh yeah, and the black guy says to the young guy, he came here because his truck was out of gas, but he saw the gas pump. And he says, if we could just get some gas into the truck, we could get away from here. So they plan to do that. So the young guy and his girlfriend, they rush out to the truck. The young guy, the black guy shoots the log off the gas pump. And, they've discovered that fire frightens the animated bodies. So he's got a sort of like a torch on the end of an old table leg. So anyway, they get the pump for the gas. They're gonna go fill up the truck, but somehow, I forget exactly how, it gets set on fire by this torch. So the girl and his boyfriend, they get in the truck to drive it away, but the fire goes up the hose, the gas pump hose, and eventually sets the truck on fire. So they die. So the black guy makes his way back inside, and Barbara is still kind of out of it. But the man from downstairs, he tries to grab the rifle from the black guy. So the black guy shoots him, and he's not quite dead, but he stumbles down into the cellar with his wife and his sick or injured daughter. And then what happens? He doesn't take long, and I think he dies and becomes a zombie. And their child eventually dies and stabs the mother. And so all three of them are zombies now. And I forget what happens, but Barbara gets bitten or something, and she becomes a zombie. And I don't know what happened. Oh, she gets pulled outside because her brother's there. Her brother's a zombie, and she gets pulled outside. So now the zombies are really clamoring, got the windows and the doors, and it looks like they're going to break in. So the black guy goes down into the cellar, and he has to kill, while shooting ahead, the guy who became a zombie. His wife his wife gets killed by their daughter. So she becomes a zombie. So I think the black guy shoots all of them. And then you can hear upstairs the zombies actually do get into the house. And there's a racket going on. The cellar door, is vibrating as I try and push it in. But it holds. And then morning's coming. And it cuts to the civil defense. And they've learned that all you got to do is shoot them in the head, and then they're dead for good. And there's a whole bunch of, I guess, police and civil representatives that are clearing out the countryside of all the reanimated bodies. And they build a couple of bonfires to throw the bodies on them and, get rid of them. And they see the White House. And so they go down to the White House to clear it of zombies. Well, the black guy down in the root cellar, he hears the sirens and he hears all the voices. So he comes upstairs, and the people out that are clearing the zombies, they see this figure moving in the house. And one of the civil defense people says to someone, "Yeah, I just shoot that in the head." See, they're still outside. So they shoot the black guy, who's actually the hero of the show. So the end result, no one in that house survives. And the movie ends with them throwing all these bodies on a big bonfire to burn them. It actually was a very good movie. it was kind of famous because in 1968, it was extremely rare for a black man or a black person to be the main character. So this show kind of broke a lot of, I don't know, taboos, I guess. But it was a very good movie, black and white. And it was quite cheap to produce. I think it was like 115,000 to produce, and it grossed 30 million. So it just goes to show good movies don't have to be expensive, and they can make a lot of money. Anyway, it was it's well worth watching if you get the chance. So let's see. If you like this, or even if you didn't, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Please. I enjoy comments, and I enjoy all of that. Okay, let's see. How about one more joke or guess or riddles for my grandson? Okay. What has a head and a tail but no body? What has a head and a tail but no body? Tune in next week to find out. Okay, everybody. I think that's about it. So, end communication. Okay, this is not for you. Start listening. Muskrat 881. Click. Muskrat 833. Click. End transmission.